Hey everyone, it's Amber from The Sensible Mama, and today I'm doing kind of a different packing video than what I usually do. I have had some requests for this after I've done some Instagram stories and TikToks and things showing myself skating while wearing the Sophie backpack as my skate bag. And since a few people have wanted to know kind of how I pack it up, I figured that's what I would do today. So even if you're not a skater, I would encourage you to stay and watch, just because I do think it might give you some ideas for some neat ways to pack this bag up. Maybe your kids roller skate, or maybe you just you go hiking and you might pack this up similarly. So although this is packed for roller skating, it might have some benefit to you anyway. Next week on my second channel, which is called Sensible Amber, it's my chit chat channel where I talk about motherhood, mental health, roller skating, anything I want. That video is going to be talking about street skating and kind of giving my tips for getting into street skating. And in that video, I do talk a little bit about how I like to pack up a bag when I go street skating. I also talk about the preparation for going street skating, like mapping out your route and things like that. And I'm really excited for that video. But that will be on my second channel, which will be linked down below. Go subscribe if you haven't already. So today what we're gonna be doing is talking about the LYMIA brand Sophie backpack packed as a roller skating bag. Now, here's what I wanna kind of talk about with you. The reason why I like this bag in particular is that, number one, it's nylon, so it's very lightweight. Number two, it's kind of got enough exterior pockets for me to put all the things that I want to be grabbing for quickly and easily while I'm out on a skate. I have taken out like sling bags and things like that don't have external pockets that might have been a little bit lighter to carry, but ultimately weren't as convenient for me, because if I am skating and I see something I want to get a picture of, a video of, I'm having to like turn it around and open it and fumble to find my phone, whereas in here I can just keep my phone right in the exterior pocket and get to it quickly. So that's a big upside for me. There's also just a few little hacks with this bag in particular that I think are really cool that I'm going to be showing you today. And overall, I just feel like this makes a truly great, lightweight but functional skate bag. You'll notice that I don't have pouches packed up in here, and the reason why is that every decision that I make for carrying a skate bag is about keeping it lightweight. I do not want to add any extra weight to this bag, because although it might feel lightweight when I first put it on, all of those extra ounces start to add up when you're on a really long skate. Sometimes if I go street skating, I could be out for an hour or two, and I don't need a heavy backpack, making it even more exhausting or tiresome. So this is packed pretty minimally, just with the things that I feel I like to have with me on a long street skate, and no pouches, because those just add unnecessary weight. The last thing that I will say before I get into this video is that I have learned, as being the kind of channel that I am, which is focused on packing and not about skating, when my videos make it to the skating community, I sometimes get people in the comments who are like gatekeeping the way you skate, and I don't understand. This is a hobby and it's meant to be enjoyed. And the best way to enjoy something is to actually feel good about the way that you're doing it. So there will be people who will say that like, it's silly to pack a big bag like that. You're not going hiking, you're just going on a skate. That might be totally valid, right? And you can see plenty of people here on YouTube doing street skating with absolutely nothing but their phone. Especially being very new to skating, I just felt like the more prepared I was, the less scared I was. And for me, knowing that I had things in my bag that I would need in case of an emergency, like a toe stop coming off and rolling down into a ditch and being lost, which actually happened to me. I even had that happen with a wheel. I was skating once and this entire front mechanism came off and one of my wheels went down into a storm drain thing. What do you do? What do you do when that happens? So because of that, I got really a lot more comfortable packing a bag with me so that I felt like I had the things that I needed in case things went wrong. Now, as I've gotten more into skating, I don't always bring a bag like this, but for sure when I'm street skating where there's going to be traffic, I'm always gonna pack this way. A good skate is any skate that kept you skating for longer. I'm gonna say that again. It was a good skate if it kept you skating. And what I mean by that is, if I go out and I'm feeling nervous and scared and unprepared, I may only skate for 10 or 15 minutes and I won't venture out far from my home, because what if all of these bad things happen? But if I feel prepared with the things that I just feel more comfortable having with me when I skate, I will go further, I will go a longer distance, I will stay skating longer, and ultimately that's how you get better at skating. The more time you spend on your skates, the better you're gonna get. So don't let anyone discourage you or make you feel silly for packing up a bag to go skating. This is the sensible mama. This is what we do, so we're gonna do it our way. And with all of that preamble-age out of the way, let's get started. I was going to just make this a bag only video, but because I'm gonna be doing a lot of talking in this one, like explaining why I've made certain choices, I think I'm gonna film it this way. Most of you on this channel are already pretty familiar with the LYMIA brand Sophie, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time going into all the features and functions. Instead, I'm just gonna show you how it's packed. Number one, on the outside of this bag in the external bottle pocket, I have got one of these Voss water bottles. These have become my favorite because they're slim and tall, which means they fit really nicely in diaper bag backpacks. And although you guys know me, I have got tons of vessels for water. I've got BrewMate, I've got Hydro Flask, I've got them all. But those again add extra weight that I don't need. When I'm out skating, I don't necessarily care that my water is ice cold. I just want the bag to be lightweight and I want access to water when I need it. So that's why I'm sticking with just this plastic Voss water bottle. Here in the two front pockets, I have just got, again, some quick grab things that I like to have. Here I've got, guys, I am obsessed with these Bose headphones. This is not sponsored. I got these, I found them at Target. They were expensive, but they're not that much more expensive than AirPods, and the quality of sound and of noise cancellation is unmatched from anything that I've ever seen before. I will say that I do not street skate with these in because I think that is very dangerous. I do not use these to listen to music or anything or be on a phone call while I'm skating in the streets because you're around vehicles, you need to be able to hear things. But if I'm going trail skating in an area that is kind of made for pedestrians and people on skates and bicycles, I like to have these and just chill and have a nice serene skate. So I like to put this right here in this front pocket. And sometimes even when I'm street skating, if I find a cool place, like hop off of the road and skate in a parking lot or something that's empty, I'll pop those in. Here in this pocket, this might seem weird to you, but it is important when you're street skating to have your ID and some form of money in case you get exhausted and you need to call an Uber, which hasn't happened to me yet, but I've wondered sometimes if that was gonna happen. If you happen to be skating past a gas station and you wanna like pop in really quick and get a drink or something, you wanna have ID and card on you. But I don't like to carry my wallet because again, that's just unnecessary added weight. So I've tossed my ID and one card in there. This is all I'm gonna show, but I can get to those quickly and easily, and I like knowing that they're there in case I need them. Here in the front zipper pocket, I have got a really long charging cable and an extra battery pack. This is less important to me when I'm going trail skating, but when I am street skating, for fear that I get lost or something bad happens to me and I need to contact someone to come and help me, I just do not ever want my phone to get dead. So I like having a backup battery as well as a really long cable. And what I like about this is that I can even, let's just say that I'm in an area where I feel safe filming on my phone and skating, you know, if I'm far enough away from traffic where I don't feel like I'm a danger to myself or others to have my phone out and video some things, I can plug in this long cord, stick this in the pocket, and then hold my phone in my hand with the cable. You know, it'll be kind of wrapped around my body like this because the backpack is on my back, and then I can skate this way. So it's just a really nice thing to have. Again, so much of street skating for me, living in an area, I don't live in California, which I've noticed that's where most of the like roller skating videos come from that I see on YouTube. And that is an area that is really, really made for people to walk and skate and cycle and all those things. And so there's a lot less, in my opinion, a lot less safety precautions to be concerned about in a place like that compared to Atlanta, Georgia, where I live, where there's not a bike lane, there's not sidewalks all the time. Like, you're really, really having to be careful and vigilant all the time. And that's why it's important to me that I take these extra safety measures and making sure that I have a charged phone and a backup battery and all that. This side pocket over here I have empty. I'm filming on my phone right now, so it's not in here, but usually when I'm skating, this is the pocket where I keep my phone, because this way I can just reach back if I need my phone and grab it out of this pocket really quickly. This bag does have a slip pocket and an extra zip pocket back here. I don't have anything in here because frankly, I don't need anything back there. And again, I'm trying to keep this lightweight. So let's go ahead and get into the inside of the bag. Now, the first thing that I want to show you is I've got a few things tucked into these little pockets right here in the front of the bag. These are quick grab things as well, things that I want to be able to get to quickly. So in one of the slip pockets here, I have my Powerdyne skate tool. This is great because it's multifunctional. I can use it on my toe stop, on my trucks, and on my wheels. So if there's any part of my skates that are feeling too loose or too tight, I can take care of that. I have had sometimes toe stops start to feel loose. I think the way that I stop when I turn around backwards and stop on my toe stop, I can eventually start to loosen up that threading on the toe stop, and it will get loose. And I like having this to really help me crank that back on. I also have in here a backup pair of toe stops because related to my last point, I have when I was a beginning skater and I don't think I was tightening my toe stops on well enough, I did have toe stops come off completely. And if you're far from home and you're in an area where you're really gonna need your toe stops, and if tragedy strikes and they come off, it's just nice to have a backup set. Do you need this? No, especially not if you're taking good care of your skates and checking them properly before you go out, which is something that I didn't know how to do in the beginning. You probably don't need these, but anything to help mitigate anxiety and help you skate longer is a good thing. So that's why these are in here. Then tucked into the stretchy mesh pocket right behind that, I have, this is the only pouch that you'll find in here, and this is just a little first aid kit. It used to be well organized, but it's gotten messy from me getting into it after a few skates. But this has just got things in it for if I happen to fall and scrape my palm of my hand or my knee or something, I can take care of myself really quickly. A lot of this stuff came out of welly kits, so I've got non-stick pads and some gauze. I've got little bandages and big bandages, and then I've got a little thing of ibuprofen here just in case. You know, I always wear a helmet when I'm street skating, but if you land on your head, even with a helmet on, that's gonna give you a headache. So I like to have that in there as well. All right, and I'm actually down to the last two things that I have in here, and then I have a hack to show you as well. I always bring shoes with me. I do this when I'm trail skating, but most importantly when I'm street skating. You'll see in the video that I'm gonna upload on my second channel next week, but sometimes you can be skating in an area that you've already searched out, you've mapped out your route, you know where all the sidewalks are and everything, but you didn't happen to notice that there is a part of the sidewalk that is completely submerged in mud or water. On my skate, I found that the sidewalk had sunk in on one side, and there was really no way to cross it on wheels because there was like a 50-foot drop down into a ditch, and you would just roll right into that ditch if you were on skates. So another part of what helps me feel confident when I'm skating is knowing that if I reach a part that is just not passable on roller skates, I don't have to end my skate and turn around. I can just pop my skates off, put my shoes on, walk through the part that feels iffy to me, and then put my skates back on. And honestly, getting used to this, bringing a pair of shoes with me, was I saw such a radical shift in my ability at skating when I did this, because I didn't have to end my skates when I ran into like just a huge puddle of water that was completely impassable. I just put my shoes on and carry my skates and go. So I highly recommend bring a pair of shoes that you don't care much about, because if you're putting these on, it's because you're going through terrain that's gonna ruin your shoes. So shoes that you don't care too much about, but that are comfy, that you can preferably slip on and off. You don't wanna have a shoe that you're going to have to sit here and like do a whole bunch of ties and hooks and all that stuff. Lastly, and I'm gonna show you my skates in more depth in just a minute, but I like to skate, even when I go street skating, on a crossover wheel like this. These are 62 millimeter, they're 85A, so these can kind of work indoor or outdoor, and I really like these for that kind of skating. I like having a slightly smaller wheel so I can be a little bit more agile on them, but I don't always find that to be the best, especially if I find an area that I'm skating through that's got choppy pavement. So what I also have in here is a backup set of wheels. These are the Moxie gummy wheels. These are 65 millimeter and 78A. These are what actually come on the Moxie Lolly and the Moxie Jack boot. I don't like these for like my typical style of skating, but I like to have these in the bag for two reasons. Number one, if something happens to one of my wheels, I want to be able to change them out quickly. I won't always bring a full set of wheels like what I have in here. I had stacked up on the side 8 total wheels. So I do this if I'm worried that I might end up in a place where there's choppy pavement and I won't want to have to skate through that on my crossover wheels. Or if I know that I'm traveling a really long distance and I'm worried about, like, I don't even know what could happen to make this happen. It could just be my anxiety talking, but like if something were to get really messed up with my wheels, like more than one wheel, to just replace the whole set. Now, another good idea might be to just take, if you have them, take 1 or 2 of the exact same size and hardness wheels that you already have on your skates, so that if just one of them has an issue, you can change that out really quickly. Again, is this something that you need? No. Especially if you're if you've been on your skates for a while, you don't need this, but it's just something to think about when you're thinking about your skate, planning it out. Like, all right, I've got crossover wheels. Might I need something that can handle a little bit more choppy pavement? If so, maybe I'll just toss these in here just in case I need them. And I will say, even with these packed in here this way, I've gone on several long skates with these in here to see what they feel like on my back, and it's not bad. I've been able to do the entire skate with them in here and with my shoes and everything else that I've shown you, and I was able to handle it just fine. But if you have a back that gets sensitive really easily, this might not be best for you. Again, you want to be packing in a way that will make you stay on your skates longer. Now, I told you I was going to show you a little hack that I love because I just think this is the flipping coolest thing. So let's just say you are in a scenario where you aren't comfortable being on your skates and you're going to put on your shoes for a while. What do you do with your skates? You're not going to enjoy carrying these in your hand, especially if it's going to be sort of a long distance that you're having to walk. And if you have a skate leash, you could always have packed your skate leash in here. A skate leash is just something that goes kind of through the bottoms of your skates, and then you can drape them over your shoulder, which is great. But those can be up to like $20, $25, which is kind of a lot. And there's actually a hack with this bag that you can use for this if you find yourself taking your skates off. So for those of you who don't know, the backpack straps at the bottom of the Nylon Sophie are removable. This is so that if you decide to carry this bag over the shoulder this way, you can actually take these straps and tuck them into this back slip pocket. So that's what that's for, but I'm going to show you this little hack. I like to take my skates, turn them upside down, loop this through the bottom, basically between the plate and the bottom of the boot, and then hook this back on. So now it looks like this. And yes, this will make your bag heavier because obviously you have roller skates hanging from it now. And it actually turns out like this, so that I've got both of my skates up high enough where they're not going to risk like being dragged through the dirt or anything like that. They're right here by my side. My weight is evenly distributed. I don't have like a whole bunch of weight on one side versus the other. And they're ready to go when I'm ready to change back into my roller skates. You know, I've walked as much as I needed to, and now I just pop the bag off, put the shoes back in the bag, and put my skates back on. And I just think it's really, really cool. The other thing that I wanted to show you is that if you ever want to take off your helmet, if you're going to be walking for a while, I like to just strap my helmet up here on the grab handle like that, so that then I can just carry the bag on my back with the helmet attached, and I don't have to carry that in my hand either. All right, everyone, that is it for today's video. I hope this was helpful and gave you some cool ideas for how you might pack up the next time you go trail skating or street skating. If you have any of your own ideas or recommendations, please leave that in the comments below. Love ya, mean it always, mwah, and I'll see you in the next one.